Hello everyone, welcome to our very first Econ lab session. I'm the one of the lab TAs. My name is Stanley, and today we're going to learn R in RStudio, learn how to work with Quarto documents. And by the end of this session, you should be able to do some basic calculations, use functions, and create objects in R. Okay, so it's very this is like an introduction of R and RStudio. Okay. And first, what is R? So R is a free and open source language for the data analysis and visualization, and it has some advantages. It was built specifically for the statistics, and has excellent visualization tools, and it's open source, so it's free. We don't have to pay. And then it's more flexible than the point-and-click software like Excel. So we use Excel in the previous quarters, but start from this quarters, we're gonna use R. Okay, so because R is a very powerful tool, it's a powerful calculator for the data science and economics. Right, so that's why we're gonna use R. And then this RStudio. It's about RStudio. Now I'm using RStudio. Okay, so this is the interface of RStudio. Okay, so make sure you download both R and RStudio. Okay, so we're gonna use RStudio instead of typing code in the command line. Okay, so RStudio is more convenient. It's a user-friendly development environment. Okay, so we're gonna use RStudio, and in this course, we're gonna use Quarto files. Okay, so it's a QMD files. So then we can just combine the code and the text. Some explanations in the same file. Okay, so it's just a single document, so you can just create a report or handout with the Quarto documents. Okay, so it's very simple. So to run the code, just click the green play button. Okay, and then to run the whole document, you can just press Control plus Shift plus Enter. Okay, if you want to run all the documents, the whole documents. And then you can, if you want to create the output, the final output, you can just click renders over here. Okay, after you click the render, that will gives you a HTML version. Gives you the HTML pages, and that's how you submit your homework. Okay, so this is really important. After you render it, you have a HTML version file. Okay, then you have to save the file as PDF version. Okay, so when you submit your homework, you have to make sure you submit the PDF version. This is the requirement. Okay, so if you submit HTML version, probably we're gonna minus the 0.5 points. You won't get the full credit. Okay, and let me show you. So this is the whole document. Okay, this is my handout, and after I click the render, okay, so it's gonna give me the HTML version. Right, this is the HTML version, and here the top of the screen, please click file, and here, so over here, export as PDF. Right, and you can just click save over here, and then after you save as PDF version and PDF file, you just submit your homework with the PDF file. Right, and let me go back to RStudio. Right, so over here. Okay, so if you want to generate the final output, just click render, which creates a HTML file, and save the HTML file as PDF version. right, when you submit your homework, right? And let me start show you some coding. Now this is straightforward because it's just the beginning of R. Right? So R can do some basic math, also some complicated math. All right. So of course, so this is just an example. So 3 plus 5 and 12 divided by 7. Okay. Of course, you can try some other. Let me show you other, like 1 plus 2. All right. And you can just run, just click this green button, and you're gonna give you the results. Okay, so here 8, 3, and this guy. Okay, and this is just some simple calculations. And next part, I'm gonna show you the functions and arguments. Okay, so the functions, with the functions you can just to perform some specific task. So it has the name. Okay, the function has a name and has the argument, which is the input, has the output, which is the result. So 3 parts: the name, the argument, and the output. Right. So here, this is the example. Okay, we're gonna use the function round. Okay. So if we just want to keep 0 decimal, this is the number, and the digits is equals 0. Then we're gonna round to 3, right? Then the output is gonna be 3. And this is the same thing. So the same thing is gonna give you the same results, 3. Okay, so that means you can just skip the argument names if they are in the right order. Okay, but writing them makes your code clear. And this is the functions. And the next part is about objects. So we want to work with objects. So we use this guy to assign the values to the named objects. All right. So in R, we can store values in objects, because this is like putting a label on your data. Right. And we're going to use this guy for the assignment. So for example, we assign 55 to these objects with kilogram. And after you assign the value 55, you can check the value, right? You just directly type the name, the weight, kilogram, and that will give you 55, the values, right? And over here, so now I assign the 55 to the weight kilogram, and just run this part. Let's give you 55. And then you can also update objects, of course. Now you want to assign the 25 to these objects with kilogram. Okay, then that will give you the 25. Okay, so the result is 25. Okay, and you can also overwrite the previous values, 55. Then that will output 55. All right. Okay, so you can use letters and the numbers and underscores. Okay, so here the name of objects, but don't use spaces or special characters. Okay, and also don't start with a number. And the next part is about the viewed objects and remove objects. Right, so we can build objects with this command, the ls. So that's the list all the objects. Right, so when you tap the code here, it's gonna give you all the objects we have, the weight kilogram. Because we only have one object in our environment, so that give you only the weight kilogram. And this is the same thing. You can also tap objects, right? And this is the RStudio, and here we want wheel objects. Okay, this is same thing. two ways to show the objects. Okay, you can try to run the code and it's going to give you all the objects. Okay. And we can also remove the objects because you can see the objects here in our environment. We have the weight kilogram, which is 55, right? So you can check all the objects here. And you can also remove the objects with the command rm. Right? So rm remove. And here the x is the object you want to remove. Okay, this is the first code. And the second code, if you want to remove all the objects, if you want to clear the entire environment, you can use this command. Okay, so remove all the list. Okay, let me show you. So here we got a warning because we don't have x, we don't have the object x. Okay, so if you just want to remove the weight kilogram, so please make sure you tap weight kilograms over here. Right? Okay, so this is just some like the simple exercise with R. And this is just an introduction. And the next part is about exercise for you. So you can try it yourself. And I've already done these 5 questions. Okay, so the first one, create 2 numeric objects and add them. Okay, so now I assign 10 to A and 5 to B and try to check the sum of A and B. So A plus B. And then you can just click here the button and you're gonna get 15. Okay. And the second one is store your name as character object. Okay, so now because my name is Ding Li, so I assign Ding Li to this objects, my name. Okay, and then you can check the results of my name. I mean the output of my name here. So click the button and you're gonna get Ding Li. Okay. And third, round the number to 2 digits. No, now we want 2 decimal, and we're gonna use the same function round. And this is your input, and this is your requirement, that the conditions the digits equals 2, and run the code, you're gonna get the results here, right? And next one, calculate the tip for the $40 bill at 18%. Okay, so for this kind of questions, we have to define the bill first and then define the tip, and then check tip, right? So just some steps one by one. So first we assign the 40 to bill. This is how we define bill, because the bill is $40. And next step, we gonna define tip, because tip is like 80% of bill. Okay, so that's how we define the tip, like bill times 0.18. Okay, then you output the tip, run the code, we're gonna get 7.2. Then last one, remove all the objects in your workspace. So here, look at here. Now you have the 5 objects in your environment. I mean, in my environment, we have A, B, bill, and my name and tip. Okay, and this is all the objects. And now remove all the objects with this command, and run the code. Here, all the objects disappear. Okay, so we remove everything, so we have nothing here. Okay, and so I guess that's all for the week 1. Just a simple introduction to R and R Studio. Then you have to finish your homework by yourself with R Studio. I mean R and R Studio. And please make sure you submit your homework as PDF version, and don't forget to put your name here. Okay, we have to say your name on your assignment. Okay, so here the title, make sure you change the title. For example, like 1 and assignment week 1 or assignment 1, and the format HTML. Okay, this is how you render it. Okay, so the format is HTML, and your name. Okay, this is really important. You have to say your name, and then just render it. And like I said, it will gives you the HTML version. Okay, and then here just click file and export as PDF version, and then save your file as PDF version, and submit your homework with the PDF version. Okay, don't forget it. And I guess that's all. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know.